Slope of a line is the steepness or inclination of a line. Thus, knowing the concepts of slope will help us graph a line. Usually, slope is denoted by letter M and can be considered as the number of rise per the number of run. That is, if we're given with 2 points, say P sub 1 and P sub 2, the slope of a line that contains these 2 points can be computed as follows. To picture this out, let's have an example. Say our slope would be 3/4, that's 3 over 4. Notice that the rise would be 3 and the run would be 4. Let's also have a point of a line that has that slope, which is 3/4. Say our point would be 3, 3. From that point, let's perform the 3 units up for the rise part. Then 4 units to the right for the run part. From that second point, let's perform the same number of units up and same number of units to the right. Aside from those 2 points at the right side of the point 3, 3, we can also make some points at the left side of the point 3, 3 with the use of the given slope. That is, considering 3/4 to be the same thing as -3 over -4. Since -3 divided by -4 is the same thing as +3/4. But before we continue that, let's have some notes. When we say rise, we can have either up or down, that is positive for up and negative for down. As for the run, when we say positive, that would be going to the right and negative would go to the left. With this, when we say -3 for the rise, that would be 3 units going down from the given point 3, 3. So for the run, which is -4, that would be this time 4 units to the left. So from that 4th point, let's perform this time -3 units for the rise. So that would be 3 units down. And after that, -4 for the run, that is 4 units to the left. So there you go. Now we have graphed a line that has the point 3, 3 and has the slope 3/4. Now before we move to verifying the formula for getting the slope, I hope you had subscribed. Let's now make use of the formula in getting the slope. Considering that our P sub 1 would be the given 3, 3, and the P sub 2 would be the obtained point, which is 7, 6. We now have X sub 1, which is 3, Y sub 1, which is 3, X sub 2 would be 7, and Y sub 2 would be 6. Substituting these values, we'll have Y sub 2, which is 6, minus Y sub 1, which is 3, all over X sub 2, which is 7 minus X sub 1, which is 3. And see, that would give us the slope that we had earlier, which is 3/4. And even if we'll use the other formula, which is Y sub 1 minus Y sub 2 all over X sub 1 minus X sub 2, notice that we'll still arrive at the same slope, which is 3/4. Now let's have these observations for those who prefer to have some calculations mentally for them to obtain these points of the line. Notice from point 3, 3 to point 7, 6, with y equals 3 and y equals 6, we actually had 3 units being added. And from x equals 3 to x equals 7, we also had 4 units being added. And yes, that's from the concept of y that could be either up or down, and x that could be either left or right. So with the slope, that would be rise over run, that could actually be considered as y over x, or the number of units with respect to y and the number of units with respect to x. With this, from 0.76, considering that we'll have 3 units for y, it means that for 6, we'll have to add 3 to have 9 for the next point. Knowing that 4 units will be for x, it means that from 7, we'll just have to add 4 units, so we'll have 11 this time for the next point. As discussed earlier, when we have the other side of the 0.33, we'll have slope to be considered, which is -3 over -4. That is, as for y this time, we'll have -3 units, which means 3 units down. Adding -3 from 3, we'll have 0 for the y value of the next point. As for x this time, which is -4, so from 3, we have to add -4. That would give us -1. Similarly, from the point -1, 0 this time, adding -3 from 0, we'll get -3, and adding -4 from -1, we'll now have -5. So the next point would be -5 and -3. There are times that our slope can be a whole number. Like in here, our slope is -3. When you see this, you don't have to worry because we can always have fraction form of a whole number. That is, having just a denominator of 1. So -3 will just be the same thing as -3 over +1. So now, we have rise, which is -3, and a run, which is a +1. Hence, we can apply the concepts that we have discussed earlier. With a given point, say 6, -4. And so with a rise, which is -3, we just have to go down 3 units. Then move to the right 1 unit because our run here is +1. And aside from -3 that can be equal to -3 over 1, that can still be equal to +3 over -1. So the other side of the given point 6, -4 will now have a rise of +3. Hence, we'll go up 3 units, then move 1 unit to the left because the round this time is a -1.